News, rumors and opinions Tuesday, June 17, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Note: all intel should be considered as rumors until we receive official announcements, and rates and dates could change anytime until we get to the bank's redemption centers. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via GCR. Update as of Tuesday, the 17th of June 2025. Compiled Tuesday, the 17th of June 2025, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by Judy Byington. Monday, the 16th of June 2025. The chaos on the surface masks the grid rewrite beneath. Mr. Pool on Telegram. Gulf markets tumbled early today. Qatar down 2.9%, Kuwait off 4.3%, Saudi nearly 3.6%, spurred by the latest Iran-Israel escalation. Headlines blame missiles. Mr. Pool Intel says it's a shutdown test of legacy liquidity rails tied to Gulf reserves being rerouted into QFS asset mapping nodes. Israel and Iran traded deadly strikes for a third day. First daylight sirens over Tel Aviv, oil depots hit in Tehran. But here's what they're not telling you. Gulf central banks quietly unplugged SWIFT gateways in parallel with sirens sounding, remapping digital reserves into quantum-secured vaults. Satellite-fed QFS nodes in Dubai, Doha, Manama are handling the flow. Overnight, billions were rerouted without triggering public alerts. Rustling. In Riyadh's asset chambers, gold-backed rainbow tokens linked to Gulf reserves silently activated today. Not announced, but logged in QFS ledgers. This isn't conflict, it's operational reset under fire. Missiles provide cover, markets react in panic, and the QFS increments its command over global reserves, one silent transaction at a time. Everyone panics over oil prices. We track leaks in the legacy system. They call it war. We call it recalibration. Today proves a truth. They can launch missiles. They can crash markets. But they cannot stop the quantum grid from extracting and securing the real value. Global financial crisis. Monday, the 2nd of June 2025. The new global quantum financial system. JFK Jr. on Telegram. The signing of a historic treaty by 209 nations marks the beginning of the greatest financial transition in modern history. The world is about to witness the birth of a new, fair, and gold-backed financial system under GCR. For decades, global currencies were manipulated to serve the few. Countries were trapped in cycles of debt, with their wealth extracted through central banks and fiat deception. That ends now. The treaty also unlocks a prosperity fund to finance humanitarian projects worldwide: schools, hospitals, clean water, housing, and restoration. A wealth redistribution program will ensure that every individual on Earth receives a share. Not just countries but people. Every QFS account is linked to the individual owner's biometric ID. Every transaction is instant, uncorrupted, and untraceable by outside forces. The Stellar Network opens access to secure digital wallets, even in the most remote corners of the world. Individuals no longer need permission from corrupted systems to participate in the global economy. QFS debit cards, secured by biometric verification and quantum encryption, are replacing them permanently. No more fraud. No more hidden fees. No more theft disguised as bank. Military units are now overseeing the logistics, security, and data coordination of the RV rollout. Secure transport of physical currency, protection of financial institutions, and quantum-level fraud prevention systems are already in motion. The banks were engines of global exploitation. Deutsche Bank, HSBC, JP Morgan, names that laundered trillions for the cabal, are being neutralized. The days of Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Stripe exploiting humanity are ending. Everything you knew about money, credit, and ownership is being rewritten from the ground up. The treaty signed unlocks the revaluation of currencies. Some down, but some up, like the Iraqi dinar, Vietnamese dong, and Zimbabwe zim. Monday, the 16th of June 2025. The collapse of the legacy banking system. Since June 1, over 2,100 banks worldwide have been quietly delisted, absorbed, or shuttered due to non-compliance with Basel IV and QFS integration standards. These aren't random closures, They are part of a synchronized takedown of the fiat infrastructure. Every financial institution that failed to back its deposits with verifiable hard assets is being purged. Germany, the Deutsche Bank restructuring is a smokescreen for a full QFS audit. US, regional banks are being merged into treasury-controlled holding zones, preparing for rainbow currency wallet release. Franc 26. There's no reason for them to have 17 trillion reserves for their currency and have a value of 1310. That statement, which is so illogical, is what allows me to close my eyes and sleep at night. I smile because what I can see is not an optical illusion. It is a reality that's happening right before our eyes. Militiaman getting rid of the parallel market sets them up for having the ability to accept Article 8 compliance. They're not going to have a multi-currency practice, if that's the case. Getting those pricing down to where that is so insignificant difference between official and parallel rates, it'll eventually be crushed. There's a lot of people out there that have agendas from other countries that don't want that to go away, because it's got corruption components to it, illicit trade. We all know that. Gold has entered third and final phase. Why $10,000 ounces could be coming. Mike Maloney, June 16, 2025. Join Mike Maloney, best-selling author and seasoned gold investor, as he unveils the third and final stage of gold's monumental bull market. In this eye-opening presentation, Mike draws compelling parallels between today's gold surge and the infamous 1970s gold rush, when prices soared 25x in just months. Discover why gold and silver are giffen goods, assets that gain demand as prices rise, and how global fear, greed, and economic instability could ignite the great gold and silver rush of the 21st century. Backed by 20-plus years of research, historic data, and insider insights, this video reveals why institutional and media attention signals a coming stampede. How modern markets are primed for a price explosion. Why gold could surpass $3,000, $5,000, even $10,000 per ounce. If you think gold's best days are behind it, think again. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.